Oh, I'm excited. I mean, I love our whole room, but I'm definitely excited about Jaden. He's worked hard and, he earned it through fall camp, but I think all those guys pushed each other throughout fall camp and all the way back to spring.
What part of his skill set excites you the most as his position coach?
A combination of things. I mean, he can really utilize the whole field, both width and length. So when you can take advantage of the whole field, both width and length, it just opens you up and it softens up a defense. They can't assume you're never going to throw from hash all the way to sideline, or never going to assume that you're not going to throw deep down the middle late, and that's just what it does. It opens up a lot of things that way, so that excites me.
How do you feel like the offense performed against the scout team today?
Solid. You never know. You come off the practice field and you think one thing, and then you go back and watch them think, good or bad. Never as good. But I thought it was a solid day, especially considering I want to see it take it to another level tomorrow. Because when you get that second day, because yesterday we just had a walkthrough. So whenever you're coming off the walkthrough or a day off before that, you kind of have to get back in that Tuesday practice mode, and that's what that was for us today. Even though it's a Wednesday, it was a Tuesday mentality. Wednesday, you should improve off of that. So we should build off that as we hit Wednesday.
Jaden talked about obviously not making the same mistakes again, growing and learning. But I know it's obviously big. You always heard offensive coordinators, coaches say to have running backs and tight ends. Just within what you want to do in the offense, how does having that also help his growth?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we have both smart players around him, talented players around him, a lot of leadership, a lot of guys who have played some snaps too around him. And even if it wasn't here at the college football level, they've played a lot of snaps. So that type of stuff around you, because Jaden's one of 11. I know he's going to get the most attention. No one's going to get a group like this when you switch your tight end or your left tackle. It's just the nature of quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's still one of 11. So when you can have those other 10 guys around him, that's a huge deal. And to your point, that's what you always want to see with any player, but definitely with young players. When you're speaking of young QBs, you expect mistakes. No one's going to be perfect, but is he fixing it? Does the next rep look different, or was he able to retain, what happened on the rep before and change it on the next rep? And he shows a great ability to do that, which excites me.
What does he show you in terms of poise and leadership for the position?
It's very strong, and I thought that well before he was even getting reps. You started to see that even in the spring. He wasn't getting a ton of reps, but you saw guys gravitate to him. And sometimes you can't put your finger on, you don't even know exactly why, because you don't know what's happening, in the locker room or outside of your world here as a coach. But when you see guys gravitating somebody, whether you're calling him a leader or not, he's a leader. You know what I mean? Because people are gravitating to him, and you see people, and he just has that natural knack to connect with people. And I think the biggest thing he does is he's very selfless, and people respond to that. People they embrace that. They get excited to follow that when someone is a selfless person, and he's very much that way. So he doesn't point fingers. He doesn't play the blame game. He's always looking in the mirror to what he can do better, instead of looking outwardly to try and give him a crutch on something that didn't go right.
It seems like he's really taken off since Drew got hurt and he got the reps. It seems like he's just kind of really taken off the opportunity and run with it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Every opportunity he's got. Again, he hasn't been perfect, but at different times, if I were to go through the last week and a half or whatever it's been, 2 weeks even, he's definitely exceeded what you might have thought coming out of the end of spring. And that's a credit to him. And that's a credit to that group around him. People around him make him better. And that QB room. Man, I have a lot of respect for how they compete. I want them to be. They should be pissed. They all want to be starters, and they all want to, take the reins. But they don't do it ever in a divisive way. They're always there for each other. And so that's, I think, helped a lot of that growth, too.
Trent, in particular, seems like the kind of kid that would take the news about as well as you could take it.
He's an absolute stud, and he's going to be great in life. He's already done a lot of good things on the football field, but he's going to take off, and what he does, how he carries himself, how he treats people, how he talks to people, how he carries himself. Before this, I'm not just this singular situation. It's just that's who he is. So he's someone I love to stay connected with forever, because I'm excited to see what his next steps are in life. But right now, it's all about what he's doing right now. He wants to come out and have a great practice tomorrow.
Someday he'll be making those decisions himself, because he'll be coaching somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he chooses to do.
Can he mention that?
When Jaden got off to a rough start at practice over here, did you have to say anything to kind of calm him down, or was he able to bounce back just the next play?
No, he sometimes responds to a little bit of in his face. You know what I mean? Especially right now. He responds to a little bit of that, you know, and there'll be the times where I do that and don't, but I don't ever want to. What I always would tell him is, even if I get in his face for a second, I also want him to then go, okay, there's no rear view mirror, right? No rear view mirror, because you can't do anything about what just happened before. And with a lot of young guys, they'll carry something that happened before into the next play or into the next series. And he's getting better and better about not doing that, because I never felt like he carried some of those early things into the next. Because no one's going to be perfect, and he definitely will not be perfect. I won't be perfect. None of you guys will be perfect in anything you do, but it's all about how you respond, and he's getting better and better at that. So it was nothing magical. I said the credit to him responding is him. You know, it's not me.
Kenny mentioned that this decision's for week one. Is this going to be a week-to-week situation where you kind of evaluate who's going to be the guy, or when do you want to kind of lock in your kind of QB1 for the rest of the year?
I think the best thing to say is every week you're doing whatever you think gives you the best chance to win. That's what you're doing. And, that's all you can do at any position. QB just gets most of the attention, but it's still the 1 of 11. So anybody that's playing is what we believe gives us the best chance to win. So whatever we believe gives us the best chance to win in week 2 and week 3 and week 4, and if your QB never changes, because that's what we believe gives us the best chance to win, then that's what it'll be. If your QB does, you'll know, why did they change QBs? Well, they must have felt like that gave them a better chance to win. I mean, it's that simple, as far as that goes. And that's not just the QB position, that's any position.